Hello and welcome to Lunatia Books. I'm Lunatia, or Luna for short, and in today's video I will talk about what I read in February 2024. February was a rough month. Two of my friends had their mothers passing away, and a friend of mine passed away suddenly. We used to be in the same book club several years ago, and some years ago we celebrated her 40th. She was only 46 years old when her heart just stopped beating. I have also had many migraine attacks, which has also affected my reading. I only managed to finish 4 books in February. They were all fiction, which 3 in English and 1 in Norwegian. One of the books was a science fiction, 1 fantasy book, 1 historical fiction, and 1 contemporary fiction. Now let's talk about the 4 books that I read. My first read of February was Hjemsøkelse, written by Erpenbeck. The book was translated from the German to the Norwegian by Ute Neumann and first published in Norwegian in 2019. It is also translated into English by Susan Bernowski and given the English name Visitation. The main character of the book is not a person, but a building and the land it was built on. The story starts with the land's dark history, where a young woman grows mad and takes her own life. A young architect builds a summer house for his family by the side of a lake in Erpenbeck. It has wrought iron balconies, stained glass windows, a hidden closet in the bedroom, and a beautiful garden. The architect bought the land for by far less than market value from the previous owner, a Jewish couple. The Jewish couple plans on emigrating from Germany, but before they're able to leave, the German borders are closed to the Jews and they pass away by the hands of the Nazis. The history of the house and the land continues, but I will not get into more details here. This is a haunting but particularly written book, and I think that Erpenbeck does a good job of telling a piece of German's history in a different way. My next read was Flux, a science fiction novel written by Jinwoo Chong. I have a reading blog where I'm reading this, and I will link to that in the description box. This was a random library pickup, and I had no expectations when I started reading it. This is the author's debut novel, and it was first published in 2023. The story is set in an unnamed city and has 3 main characters that we meet in different times. There's the young boy Bo, who grieves his mother who has passed away. Brandon, a young man in his 20s who just got laid off, and the middle-aged Blue, who visits a person from his past in jail. After being laid off, Brandon meets a man who offers him a job. Though Brandon finds the situation strange, he needs the money, and before yet he's dragged into a job he doesn't quite understand. As a reader, it doesn't take long before you understand that we're dealing with time travel. Time travel can be a real hit and miss, but I think Chong managed to deal with it really well. Flux is really about the pain of loneliness and grief and vulnerability that comes with this pain. I really enjoyed the book and hope to see more from this author in the future. I first read the novel One Day, written by David Nicholls in 2011. As I started watching the Netflix series, I realized that I didn't remember that much from the book. I therefore decided it was time for a reread. I have a vlog where I read the book and watch the Netflix series, and I will leave a link down below in the description box. In this book, we meet Emma and Dexter, who spend one night together after they graduate from the University of Edinburgh on the 15th of July 1988. We then get to follow them over the next 20 years by revisiting them on the 15th of July every year. Through the years, they have a close relationship, at least most of the time, but it's clear that there's an attraction between the two. I really like the concept of telling a story by seeing a snapshot of the one day every year, and I remember really liking the book the first time I read it. This time around, I didn't feel the same way about it. I didn't dislike it, but I think that reading it as the person I am today does something to how I perceive it. I doubt I will reread the book again, and I'm totally fine with that. Emma Newman, who is one of my favorite authors, mentioned over at Mastodon that she had done a narration of the second book in a series called Regency Dragons, which is written by the author Stephanie Burgis. I don't know about you, but personally I love both dragons and stories set in the Regency era. Of course, I had to check out the first book in the series. It didn't take me long before the first book in the series, Scales and Sensibility, ended up on my Kobo. This book was such a delight to read. I was sold from the start, and I loved the opening sentence. It was a truth universally acknowledged that any young lady without a dragon was doomed to social failure. The heroine of our story is Eleanor Tregarth, and after her parents passing away in a tragic accident, leaving her and her two sisters penniless, she's taken in to stay at the household of her cousin Penopoly. After another one of Penopoly's tantrums, where her pet dragon releases slime down her dress, Eleanor just can't hold her tongue anymore. She gets so angry, she takes the dragon and flees the estate. This is a fantasy rom-com, and I, for one, had a brilliant time reading it. I'm very much looking forward to reading the next installment in the series. That were the books I read in February. Compared to January, it was pretty few, but I'm okay with that. As I said in my video on my reading goals, I'm not going to rush it. If I read 4 books a month for the rest of the year, I should still reach my yearly goal of 50 books. Have you read any of these books? If so, what did you think of them? Are there any of the books you'd like to pick up? Please let me know in the comments below. And if you managed to come this far in the video, please leave a dragon emoji in your comment. That's all for now, and until next time, goodbye!